welcome everyone to the home of the Charlotte 49ers, Jerry Richardson Stadium, and the fans have been filling this one up in anticipation of this clash. What we have in store today, a clash between a pair of squads from the American, as we'll see a team looking for its first win, the Rice Owls, taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Charlotte 49ers. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. Rice ready to kick it off and get this game started. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The give. Runs for the tackle. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. He might want another play. Back to pass, it's Harrell. Throws for the tight end. And they took a shot on that one but couldn't make the connection. It's incomplete.
You know, as an offense, you just don't get that many great opportunities in games to hit these type of big-time plays. When plays like that present themselves and receivers are open, as a quarterback, you have got to make that throw.
They come to the line facing 3rd and long from the 25. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming.
Well, they try to throw for it there on 3rd down on the opening drive of the game. They don't get it, but let's punt the ball away. Let's trust our defense. And, guys, let's also trust this home field advantage and the crowd to get loud and make it real difficult on our opponent.
The one thing that can derail this offense, a bunch of 3-and-outs. They won't do that here, but they might go 4-and-out if they don't convert. Converts on 4th down, still going. And it's a 1st down. They'll mark it at the 44. The definition of 4-down territory has changed over the last few years. It extended into their own territory there.
Anywhere, everywhere, just look at the card, right? That card's supposed to tell us what to do, but maybe I'll go for it anyways. This offense took a little bit of a gamble, but they get the 1st down. Nothing to worry about, Reese.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's 1st down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up and get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Looking downfield, it's Harrell. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
They just have not been able to get this guy going. They've thrown it to him over and over again here in the 1st quarter, and QB and him just not able to link up. The defense knew that was where this guy was going to be looking, but these two, they've got to find a way to get on the same page.
That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's 4th down.
The hardest thing to do in football is to play on the road. So you want to get those fans as quiet as possible. That is a great opening possession for this defense, not giving up any big plays and forcing the 4th down.
On 4th down, they'll pass for it. And it's going to be batted down. They'll turn it over on downs.
And what a job by this defense. Early in the game, you want to set the tone. You want to set your offense up as much as you can. And here in the 1st half now, giving the ball back to them on their side of the field, shutting the 4th down conversion down, sending a message to this offense.
Motion from the wideout. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Pucks it out of the air. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Offenses don't like being in these situations. They don't like having little success on first and second down because now you know I got to pass the football. I got to air it out. It makes me really predictable. So let's make sure.
Catch and stride inside the 15. And he motors into the end zone. Who gives a hoot? The Owls do. It's a touchdown.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. On the run, it's Rutledge. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run up the middle, try different things to see what you do with it.
He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has...
Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line after the huge pickup.
Not overly complicated, not something the OC spent the whole summer designing. I take the ball and I toss it to my fast guy, get him on the perimeter, block it up good. My wide receivers commit to blocking, and boom, make a big play.
They go to the ground. Picks up the first down, still moving. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
Catch in the middle, it's House. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. And the 49ers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Going to the ground. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, they're just going to need more push up front. There was nowhere for that running back to go. The offensive line got moved right back into his lap, and as a result, they lose yards on that play.
3rd and short from the 22. Is the field goal unit getting ready, or is this already 4-down territory? Grabbed over the middle. It's Rutledge. That'll be enough for a first down, and they've got it at the 16-yard line.
And that's really got to make this offensive coordinator feel good. You get a completion on a big 3rd down early in the game, and that should give him a lot of confidence calling plays this game.
The 49ers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers!
Defenses at some point are going to have to figure out how to slow this guy down because he already has 3 receiving touchdowns. We're only 4 games into the season. Nobody has an answer for this guy.
And he makes the extra point. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. Alabama rolled to victory, flexing an offensive muscle that almost reminded folks of the record-setting team led by Mac Jones, Najee Harris, and Devontae Smith. All that speculation all week, and now we know. But something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw, it's Jenkins. He's got him. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
They're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical. They're too fast, and they force a negative play.
A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to, and instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball. Man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but that thing had incompletion written all over it from the moment the ball left his hand.
Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Rice will be forced to send out the punt unit. They'll have to boot it away for the first time tonight. He'll make the fair catch at the 44, and they'll have terrific field position. They'll get this drive started from their own 45-yard line. Looking for a gap. It's Rutledge. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great team defense on that run there. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Quarterback making adjustments. Dropping back, it's Harrell. Unloads to the wideout. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't make the connection.
If I'm the offensive coordinator right here, man, I'm trying to find some easy gimmies. I'm trying to find a way to make this offense easier right now because everything seems hard. Like last week, too, man, just completion percentage is not great. This offense is just not moving like it should, and they got to find some ways to make this thing easier.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. On target over the middle. Oh, and the defense in chase mode, and they finally get him down at the 35.
There's a reason 3rd down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at 3rd down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
It's a running room. The chunk plays that they love, and he takes it all the way down to the 10.
What a run. Great speed, great vision, elusiveness, and David, he's tackled down close to the goal line.
Yeah, and this offense, when you can run the football like this, man, you will have success, especially in the red zone, trying to get touchdowns.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. They'll try to get it in with the run. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage.
Defense is about firing off. hitting the offensive guys and staying in your gaps, everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. The run up the middle, trying to steamroll his way in. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
Still some work to do here on 3rd and goal from the 3. To throw, it's Harold. Intercepted for the 11th time.
See, not all linebackers are just big meatheads, right, that come downhill and hit you in the mouth. What a good job of understanding. It's a passing situation. I drop back. I see it. I break on the football in zone coverage. Give me that rock.
Let's see if this offense can get out of a hole as they start this drive at their own 8. The option look. Knocked down after a pickup of 3 to the 12.
It's a veteran defense. They've seen option before. They were prepared to see it in this game, and you're seeing it on that play right there. Everybody doing a great job with assignment football, staying in their gaps, accounting for anyone who can have the football. They were ready for the pitch guy that time. They're able to make a quick stop.
Really good job by this defense, understanding responsibility football, playing the first option, playing the second option. There was absolutely nowhere to go. Nice job being dialed in exactly where the ball was.
Turning on the Jets. They finally get him on the ground, and this junior turning in a big play after the catch.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
And it's difficult to contain athletic quarterbacks, but man, when everybody plays their assignment, it's a beautiful thing. I understand I got to take away this. I got to keep my eyes on the quarterback, make sure he doesn't pull that football. They weren't fooled, and the quarterback had nowhere to go.
And the Owls now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Rushes on him. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
QBs and receivers on 3rd down, everything has to happen just a split second sooner. You're expecting pressure, the quarterback gets hit, just not on the same page with his target.
Makes the catch at the 35. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. They'll snap it from the 37 for the first play of this drive.
Here we go.
Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there.
Let's go. Right. Single.
To the air. It's Harold. Throws to the tight end. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover.
And this is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. Handoff from the shotgun. He had to fight for a couple down to the 33.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Back to pass. Incomplete, and he threw that one up for grabs and into traffic, and fortunate to get it back. After the second down misfire, looking at a 3rd and 8.
And that's why these guys played defense. If that were an offensive player or receiver, that would have easily have been a catch. Come on, man. You've got to catch that and make that a pick.
And he makes a completion there, set up and in business at the 20.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Well, that was less than choreographed. Everybody going on their own snap count there. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Line getting set on second down. To the air, it's Jenkins. Looking to the big tight end. Intercepted for the 11th time this season. He's brought down, a short return, but the defense comes out on top with a pick.
There were a lot of people really excited about what this guy could do. Some were saying he could be an All-American, and he's proving them right. That's already his 2nd interception early in this college football season. Offenses are going to figure it out. They're going to stop throwing this guy's way. You just get in trouble when you try.
And the 49ers backed up deep in their own end, trying to create a little space on 1st down. The give to the lone running back. At the 15, he's loose. Stopped at about the 25-yard line, but it'll be a 1st down.
That is exactly what you want from your offense. Create some space, get out of the shadow of your own end zone, Palmer, and make it easier on this offense.
Yeah, it's nice when you have a running back like that, too, that can create that space for you. Now, if you're the play caller, your entire playbook is wide open.
The 49ers come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. They'll snap it from the 25 here on 1st down. Might as well give it to him again. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously you might want to think about out a little bit.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Dropping back, it's Harrell. Throwing right. He makes a catch. Across midfield and out of bounds at the 49. A big pickup there.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
And the 49ers come to the line with a new set of downs. The give to the running back from the shotgun.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Looking to fire. Caught over the middle. It's Nicholas. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a 1st down.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed? After he made his break, he was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
From the 30-yard line on first down. On the ground, it's Rutledge. Got the first down, looking for more. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down. Gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got to burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense. Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. The give to the back. Can't get him to the ground. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. They're looking to get the edge with this one on the toss. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. So they are denied a touchdown on this drive, but they'll try to put up a 3-spot before the break. It's good. Easy call for the refs. And guys, after the field goal, now they have the lead.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
So they get the late field goal right before the half and not much time after this kickoff for an answer. Fielded in the end zone, it's Thompson. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Just enough time for one final play of the half. Wants to throw. It's Jenkins. Working that left side now. He's past the 30. They'll knock him down, and that'll take us to halftime. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. The 49ers will kick it away to crank up the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They'll move the wide receiver. They'll run the option. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit.
Nice job by this defense playing assignment football. Somebody has to have the quarterback. Somebody has to have the pitch. And most importantly, when you get there, you got to get him on the ground. Nice job tackling by this defense.
From the gun, the ground game. Stopped after a pickup of 4. Good run to get it out to the 34.
See, they need more runs like that. It's been so few and far between. Defensively, They've been in position. They've been winning their one-on-one battles, getting off of blocks and rallying to the ball carrier. This defense has done a nice job slowing down the run game thus far.
That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on third down. The offense stays on the field. Maybe they'll try to make the defense jump. They also might try to run it ahead for 1 yard. Got a little space. They're able to make the stop, but he is beyond the line to gain. It's first down Rice.
Well, how's that for being aggressive? Early in the game, fourth down, in your own territory, and you go for it. And then your offense is able to come up with the big play, generate a ton of momentum, and stay on the field. That is impressive.
And he gets out of there and gets some yardage and gets down without taking any punishment. This Rice offense has a nice-looking drive going. On the ground, it's Jackson.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
And he tried to do all he could. He broke one tackle, but my goodness, guys were hitting him left and right in the backfield.
This is a staple for any good defensive coordinator. They want their guys to swarm to the football, to gang tackle. If one guy misses, another one's there.
No doubt. And the staple for the offensive coordinator or the offensive line coach is block those guys. Don't watch them tackle our guys.
Looking to throw, it's Jenkins. Fires to the wideout. He's got an open man. They get him down, but this offense is set up first and goal from the 9.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Coming out on first down with the play fake. Touchdown, Owls! And with that, they've got the lead here in the second half.
And this QB's starting to do some work, man. The big explosive play in the passing game. You get inside the 10, you're thinking run. Everybody thinking run. You back it up with another pass, another great throw, and quickly this offense gets right to the end zone.
And the extra point is good, and it's a 4-point lead. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Trying play action. Throws for the tight end. And that will be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter if they could have done it, but second down coming.
You just need to have more efficiency in the passing game. This guy completed exactly 50% of his throws the last game out. Not good enough. And he's below that number in this game. Still not good enough.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Wants to go up top. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
And this is a defense that I think is really feeling themselves right now, especially after some of the good things they did in that first half. Getting a sack right away on the opening play of the third quarter, that's got to get the juices flowing. And you know after that, they're going to keep this pass rush coming.
On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and fourth down's coming.
And you got to expect this offense to go for it again here on fourth down, right? Obviously trailing, we're in the second half, but we saw them try to go for it on fourth down early. Didn't have any success. They've got to dial up a better play here.
This drive and snap it from the 44. Motion from the wide receiver. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover. defender like a strip sack, even better if you get the ball.
And I like the awareness of this defender on the play because he knew he might not actually get to the quarterback and make the hit, but he was able to still swat away, use those long arms to create the turnover.
Charlotte has the ball back. The 49ers offense will return to the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep. Fires deep toward the end zone. Touchdown, Charlotte. They went for the big play, and boy, did it ever pay off.
That is exactly what most offenses will do. Big momentum play. My defense creates a turnover. I'm being aggressive. I'm going for the big score, the big play down the field. They get rewarded. They get the big passing touchdown.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. That drive not too taxing on the playbook. One play, put it in the end zone just like that. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Wide receiver going in motion. On the option. He's loose. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
Well, this is an offense that has a lot of speed, and they have different guys they would love to get the football to in space, and they can find a lot of different ways to do that. I love the idea of going option here and trusting your quarterback to make the right read. If no one accounts for the pitch man, he's going to get it to the outside, and you see the speed on the perimeter. Really clever play call that time by the O coordinator.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. Looking for a man. It's Jenkins. Throws to the wideout. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them.
And we know turnover margin is a huge part of winning ball games. Interception number 2. His quarterback has to do a better job taking care of the football. Don't force it. Take the high completion percentage stuff. Don't always try to go for the big play.
Charlotte will send the offense back onto the field. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. They'll leave it with him. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Well, the most insightful analysis I can come up with on that one is that didn't work. Back to the drawing board to see if there's something that works a little better soon.
Or if I can quote the great Reese Davis, that was very ungood. Not a productive first down play.
Might be calling a hot route. To the air on second down. He's open on the right. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down.
Yeah, and tight ends aren't just line up and block guys anymore. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field, and nowadays you even start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
Just on the edge of the red zone. First and 10 from the 21. They'll try the run. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the 49ers will try to put one on the board on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
I like the idea of going toss to the field, but you got to have better blocking by your wide receivers out there on the perimeter. They didn't get it done, and as a result, that's a negative play.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Back to pass, it's Harrell. Firing to the right, complete. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
Well, short completion setting up third down now. Who is your best playmaker that you can target in this area of the field?
They'd love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of a field goal, but it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Unleashes to the end zone. And he throws another interception, his 3rd of the night. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception.
And that's just excellent coverage. Man, cover one, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board, and you still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open, and if I'm the QB, man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it into tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately, gets the interception. Bad decision by the QB there. And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays, but sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well, but if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16. So we open the final period with a 3rd down play. Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Back to throw, it's Jenkins. Fires to the right. And they fail to hook up on 3rd down.
And man, did the defense just miss an opportunity that they could have turned the lights out with the lead, get the football back here. Missed opportunity. Maybe this offense now can take advantage and swing some momentum in this football.
Return's going to get it up around midfield. He'll be down at the 49-yard line. So first play of the drive coming here from their own 49. Using his legs, it's Rutledge. There he goes. That is just the kind of run you want when you're trying to close out a game. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Just inside the 40-yard line, it's 1st and 10 from the 39. Wants to adjust the pattern. To the air on 1st down. The offense pops it up, and they were on the move. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
Man, I can't do that here, right? I got the football. I got the lead. The clock. My friend, and now I cough it up. Offense have to understand the situation, have to understand I got to get to the ground. I can make sure I don't fight for extra yards. I make sure I don't fumble, costly fumble.
So the first play of the drive, starting here from the 45. They send the tight end in motion. Back to throw, it's Jenkins. Catch in the middle, it's Barnett. And he's able to shed one tackle and pick up pretty good yardage.
You got to like this defense, man. All game long, great job tackling the football. Like, you throw it on the perimeter, they're coming up. They're not giving the run after the catch to these receivers. A lot of times you see so much damage done after the catch. This defense has been dialed in, and the big play has been a non-issue.
The Owls in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Handoff from the gun. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. And they got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to beat.
He's going to throw deep right side. He caught it. Touchdown, Rice. They move on top here in the 4th.
And at this stage of the game in the 4th quarter, big-time players make big plays in big games. What a great job after he secured the catch in the open field, showing off the speed, taking it to the house, and with it, his team now has the lead.
And the extra point is good, and every point counts. It's now a 4-point lead in the 4th.
Rice, 21. Charlotte, 17.
That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Might be changing the route. To the air, it's Harrell. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
And this is going to fall on the quarterback's shoulders here in the 4th quarter. You're trailing. It's a close game. You are going to have to complete some balls. You're going to have to make some big-time throws in small windows under duress if you're going to bring your team back and will them to victory. Incomplete there, obviously, but expect them to continue to throw it. This quarterback better dial in.
Going downfield for the big play. And the DB forcing the incomplete pass with the deflection.
And this QB's got to find his rhythm. Like he's out of sorts right now. He's out of sync. The ball's not coming out on time. The ball's not in rhythm. Receivers and quarterbacks and tight ends, they got to get on the same page, man. This offense has got to get something going positive because they've just been struggling through the air.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And it's his 4th interception of the game. Got room on the return. Touchdown, Owl. The defense gets it done with that huge interception return. Boy, do they need that score. Gave them a little cushion as they try to put a stop to this 2-game slide.
And this is exactly what you dream about for a defense. Forcing the big turnover, making the pick, and then putting points on the board yourself. Great play by the defense.
And the extra point is up and good, and they have an 11-point 4th quarter lead. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. He spins that thing down the middle. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made. The 49ers want to pick up the tempo. Quarterback may change this route. Looking downfield, it's Harrell. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. Gets a turnover.
Those are hard for offensive linemen when they get beat, and you're going, no, look out for your blind side, watch out. But that great job rushing the quarterback, getting him on the ground, and getting the football out. A little extra bonus. Nice.
Gonna take a shot. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his
This defense has a lot of speed, especially in the secondary, and you saw that speed. That defender got to that receiver so quick, and because of the hit, incomplete pass.
Quarterback on the keeper. Running into the open space. Able to get just a few before sliding to avoid the hits.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
And this defense, they were ready for that third down. That you could tell they smelt the option coming, did a great job, aggressive, downhill, went and got it, got the tackle for a loss, forcing the fourth down.
They booted away on fourth down. Fair catch called for and made around the 20-yard line. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. They'll go to the ground. They knock him down after a gain of 3 to the 23.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional.
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
These are the perfect situations you love to be in. Known passing situations. These are not where the offensive tackles want to be. And when you're on the edge and there's no threat of the run, pin your ears back, get the nice first down sack.
Takes a hit as he fires. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
There's nothing better than being a defensive lineman in a defense period that pressure the quarterback, that gets hits on him, that make him feel uncomfortable, especially when you come into their building and you get everybody really, really quiet. That's a great feeling.
Oh, a lot of space. Across the 40, out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move.
Well, you got to give this quarterback a ton of credit because he showed tremendous confidence on that throw. That wasn't just trying to throw to the sticks. That was being aggressive and throwing it down the field. Not a high percentage throw, but he had confidence in his guy to win one-on-one, and they keep the drive alive.
Under fire. Complete to the right. There he goes. Touchdown, Charlotte. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board.
And it's now the second time this wide receiver has scored. Another outstanding job with the route. Great job securing the catch.
Obvious thinking here. Get the two-point conversion now, and all you'll need is a field goal to tie. Now the play fake. Throw into the end zone, and it's picked off.
I love the coverage by the defense right here. Great job getting up in their space. Nothing easy down here for a two-point conversion. The interception was just gravy.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw, it's Jenkins. Working the middle, it's complete. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. 2-minute timeout arrives, and this defense desperately needs to get the football back. And here comes the offense on second down. The handoff, keep working on that clock. Wide open spaces. And he gets it to the 44-yard line. It'll be a first down.
Yeah, it's make or break time for this defense now. They got to get a stop, and if that's bringing more bodies in, bringing more beef in, they're running the football right up the gut, right at you. They're not going to throw the football in this situation. Time to be more physical and get this big stop.
They're going to ride this running back, and he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll see if they can find some running room on the right here. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. The play action fake. And he can't get it off. Taken down. What a huge play this late in the game. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense.
When it's a play action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
Rice will be forced to send out the punt unit. They'll get down and put a stop to the return at about the 28-yard line. They'll christen this drive from the 28-yard line. Making side adjustments here. Looking to pass. It's Harrell. And the pressure will get there. The sack. Down he goes in the waiting moments. That could be a costly play.
This has been a rough night for this offensive line. Man, they have not protected their quarterback. Everything starts with the big guys up front. That's their 5th sack given up of the game.
Fires to the right. Makes the grab. Across the 40, out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move.
And they've trusted him to throw the football all game. I expect nothing to change whatsoever. They're going to put it on his back, or his arm, I guess you could say, and let him throw this team to victory. It's a close game, tight game. I'm rolling with my best player.
Looking to throw on first down. Fires left. Not in lockstep there with the receiver.
And I'm so interested to see how this young man responds, man. Like, he has been really good all game long. Put up some big numbers, but now it's prime time. It's a big moment. Can he step up in this spotlight, make a big drive, make a big play for his team to maybe go win this football game?
And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down.
And this is a tough spot now to be in for this offense because it's 3rd and long. The defense knows you have to pass the football, so they're going to be playing conservative. So what's your play you can dial up? Maybe get half of this back. Like, I know the clock is ticking, but I got to make sure that I maybe cut this down and make it a more manageable 4th down if I don't complete this 3rd one.
Complete out of the backfield. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the 1st.
And the offense gets the ball out pretty quick. But, man, if you're going to do that, that's fine. But we got to get the 1st down, or we got to get out of bounds so we can stop the clock. This offense, they've got to execute a little bit tighter down the stretch of this close football game.
He's taking a deep shot late in the game. can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game.
And that's a play the quarterback would love to have back. Late in the game, trailing by only one possession on 4th down. It looked like there was a window to put that football in, to get the catch, keep the drive going. The quarterback has an inaccurate pass. It falls incomplete, and that is probably going to do it.
They'll run the option. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. You want to talk about building confidence? Coming through with clutch plays, making the winning plays at the right time can really set the course for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Reese, maturity and experience matters. And this team has guys that have played a lot of snaps. They've seen a lot of looks, and they've lost close games like this in the past. That wasn't the case today, David. Too many guys out there making big-time plays.
And I think belief is what you build. That confidence, you know you're going to win. You don't think you're going to win. You know you're going to make that play in the big moment that continues to build on week-to-week success. And you look up and you're like, dang, we strung a couple wins together.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.